Hey everybody, it's me, FieryZachAttack like always, and I'm actually just waking up from like a 5-hour nap, so excuse my sloppy hair and everything. But so I'm here to make a video. The thing about this one though, versus a video that I usually make where I just sing a song and do shoutouts at the end, this time we're gonna reverse it. This time we're gonna do the shoutouts first because the shoutouts are the main part of this video. Because if you couldn't tell by the title, what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna give endorsements of the names of seniors who I think deserve to be in the homecoming court. Since homecoming is about 2 weeks out, I'm pretty sure the seniors are voting for like the final nominations, like the top 5 or something, next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some names in the wind, maybe give them the Zach Attack bump, if you know what I mean, and yeah, we'll see. So I have a list of 12 seniors on this piece of paper that I'm going to give a shout out to today. And I'm just going to, I was going to just do 10, but I could not limit it to that, so I did end up increasing the number to 12 seniors that I wanted to name. There are 4 that have been shouted out in previous videos, and then we have 8 completely new seniors that I've never mentioned before to talk about today, which is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to just dive into how awesome these people are. And at the end of the day, I want to put out the disclaimer that I am relatively unfamiliar with most of the senior class. I know about 20 to 50 people at most. So don't take these nominations that seriously. They're mostly people that I have personal biases for. But they're also people that I've seen a lot of glowing potential in. And thus they're people that I do want to give a shout out to today. So I have 6 guys and 6 girls. Let's start with... let's start with the ladies, shall we? Okay, so we'll begin with the 2 that we've done before. So, first shout out of the day is Marin. Now, Marin, again, I've talked about Marin so many times. She's just one of the greatest people in my school. Really, it's just awesome though how she. Well, first of all, that she goes to Epic again. You know, I keep referencing Epic without giving it a pure shout out yet, but yeah, she's one of the only people from my school that does go to Epic as well. So that's something that we have as a bond. Then she's also on the volleyball team. She kills it out there. Actually, I haven't actually gone to any of her games, so I don't know that for sure. She might be terrible, but I'm gonna go to her game next Tuesday, so I can't wait to see that. And besides that, yeah, Marin's just awesome. Like in choir today, everybody was doing solos, right? And there was 2 guys that did absolutely terrible on their solos, but Marin still made a point to cheer for them when they finished anyways, because she's just that kind of genuine, caring person to lift the spirits of the people, even when they do, mess up or something. She really does care about people, and that's why everybody loves her, and that's why she probably will get in. I think Marin is probably, if I had to bet money on any of these 12 people, Marin probably would be in the top 3 that I would actually bet on to make the popular list of people that will actually end up in homecoming court. And I really hope she does make it, because she has so much glowing potential, man. I mean, I've shouted her out so many times, so. That being said, we move on to number 2. The only other girl that is a former shoutout is Kirsten Gifford. Now, the thing about Kirsten is, she's not as well-known or popular as, well, I guess she is pretty well-known. But yeah, the thing about Kirsten versus Marin is I feel like Marin's more, like, in with the crowds, she gets along with everyone. Kirsten, I feel, is a little more of I feel like she likes to be a loner every once in a while. I mean, she does communicate with people as well, but I feel like she also does, she has her moments alone. Like, I remember one time in, I'm not sure if it was freshman or sophomore year, but one year we would always just sit together at lunch, just the 2 of us in the hall. So clearly she didn't have, like, this big popular community or reputation. But the reason I am giving Kirsten the shout out here is, for one, she's always been great to me. And if you saw my last time I shouted her out in the One Day Dominican Republic video, I really do have a certain kinship for her just because of her disease and or her mitochondria stomach thing. And, I really do feel for her, and I hope that someday the doctors find some kind of a cure. And ultimately, yeah, she's just such an awesome, genuine, fun person. She has a lot of spirit, too. She does go to all the games, even if she doesn't have the people to go with all the time. She still has a lot of support for the school, kind of like me in that regard. I don't actually have that many friends, like people I hang out with outside of school, I think is the way to to way to say it, because I do have a lot of friends, but they're not necessarily people that would hang out with me outside of this learning environment. First, yeah, and I feel like Kristen might have that too. I don't know. I don't know Kristen that well, but yeah, she's, I feel like there are some similarities there between us, and that's the reason why I love her, and I want her to win, to make it into the court. I don't think she will, but Team Kristen forever, man. So next up we have, who should we go with next? Let's do Faith Rosenwald. So Faith Rosenwald is actually probably, of the 12 people I've chosen here, probably the one I know the least about personally. Like, I think I sent her like a Facebook friend request like 3 times and she's never accepted it. But the thing is, like, I think she is one of the more academically gifted students in the senior class. I think she might even be like ranked number 1 on the stats or something. I don't know. I could be wrong. Again, I know nothing about the senior class. Everything I say is very there's a good chance that it's all completely wrong. But the thing about Faith is just I feel like she's got a lot of potential, as I've said about like all these people so far. But yeah, I just think Faith is very. I mean, I think there's something about her. I can't really put my finger on it right now, but I feel like she's gonna really go on to influence a lot of lives for the better. And I mean, I'm not sure how popular she is. Again, popularity is such a hard thing to gauge, especially when it's not my class. Like, next year when I do this, because I will do this video again next year, so my class, you better start kissing ass if you want my endorsement. But no, I'm kidding. These probably won't change any votes at all, but I'm just doing it for the heck of it. But yeah, so yeah, I do think Faith has the potential to be a really good homecoming queen, or even just in the court somewhere, because again, she's just a kind person, pretty likable, and smart based on the times I've seen her. So next up we have Molly Winters, someone I actually just met a little bit ago, I believe at the freshman ignition, because we were both mentors this year. And the thing about Molly is she is one freaking good dancer, I swear. Out of everybody at the on the dance floor that night, Molly was the girl that killed it the most. The guy that killed it the most is still coming out, but yeah, Molly is just such an amazing dancer. Her personality is great too. I was really glad to meet her that day, and I haven't talked to her much since. I mean, I haven't talked to many seniors at all since. Like, I don't really talk to that many seniors in general, just because I don't have that many classes with them. But when I do talk to them, they're awesome. And yeah, Molly, again, she's probably one of the people I know the least with Faith on this list, but I think she's somebody that is really respected by the senior class and would be an awesome homecoming court member. So moving along, we have, now this is going to be the most controversial choice on the list, but number 5 is Liz Cassiato. Now, I know Liz is actually pregnant, if you couldn't notice. It's not that hard to notice, though, but yeah, see, the thing about Liz is that obviously you wouldn't think that you would be endorsing a pregnant teenager to be in homecoming court, right? But here's the thing about Liz for me. Despite anything that she's done since then, since I met her, when I did meet her, it was when I was in 8th grade, and I was shadowing at North, because I was going to come there next year, so I had to, like, come visit the school for a day, walk around with a student, and since I didn't know anyone at the school, they paired me up with Liz, and Liz was pretty much the first person I ever met from North. And just on that day, walking around with her, that's also the day I met Kirsten, because Kirsten and Liz were friends back then. I don't know if they still are, but they were at least then. And I really do think Liz, I mean, she just showed me a real, genuine, lovable quality about her and about North. She ultimately got me hooked into the school in the first place, got me amped up enough to go there. And while it definitely took me a while to get into the spirit mode, now that I'm here, I am extremely grateful, because she was essentially my first step on the road to North, and for that I will forever be grateful, despite what she's in right now. I mean, I'm really happy for her having the baby and everything, despite like how controversial that is. Again, it's a really controversial subject, but yeah, I have AP Chem with her this year, and we were kind of like the 2 buddy outcasts, and like all these other popular junior kids are hanging out with their friends, and we're just kind of like sitting in the one corner, speaking like 5 sentences to each other, period, and then Miss Traeger just rants on forever. Yeah, that's how chemistry goes at my school. But final girl is Caitlin Collar. Now, I was initially just gonna go with the first 5, but at the end of the day, I decided I have to include Caitlin because she just has gotten so completely gypped in these shoutouts. Because the thing about Caitlin is she actually goes to Epic as well, and at camp this year, she was actually there. But the thing is, she didn't sign my little book thingy, which I think I actually. Yeah, let me get the book thingy. Okay. Book thingy. Yeah, if you remember this from back in the day. Yeah, the reason she didn't sign the book thingy at camp is just because I forgot to ask her like a moron, and that's why she didn't get a shout out in the old camp video. That being said, though, it's about time I give her the shout out. She does go to North just like Marin does. She's not as socially popular or significant as Marin is, I don't think, which is why again why she's been a little neglected in shout outs prior to now. But like here, let me just think of okay. So one time that I was with her was at we did like a church picnic a few weeks ago during the summer, and her little brother was like there, and I was like playing with a ball with her little brother, and it was so cool, so awesome, and just talking to her about teachers and stuff, and yeah, Caitlin's an awesome girl, and I felt like I can't jip her off this list and the camp list, because she was technically in both, and technically awesome in both, and technically deserved the shout out both times, so you know what, I'm going to give it here, and I'm going to tell about her being at camp too, so that covers both grounds. Now we move to the guys, though. Now, I'm going to be honest, the guys list was a lot harder, because I don't know that many senior girls. I was kind of scraping at people that I barely even knew with Rosenwald and Molly, but the thing is, now we're going into people I know a little bit better. And to start it off, we're going to begin with the person that started this whole shout-out thing at the beginning. We got Kyle Peterson. He's back on the list again, folks. Kyle Peterson, if you guys remember, he was the first shout-out I ever gave back in my hippie flare cover of Young Homie back in the day. And, ever since that moment, he's been a very, very kind soul to me, He is always like, I'm touched to be your first shout-out, man, and yeah, I just really love the guy, and just like to give an example again, but this Tuesday, right, I was at a soccer game, and the thing about Kyle is he's usually like all hyper and spirited, but the thing that was really interesting about him at this soccer game that we were watching on Tuesday night is he was very subdued. He was just kind of sitting there in a blanket, very quiet. It was a very, more, what's the word, more, I don't know, it's a more like relaxed, naive side of Kyle that I haven't seen as much, and it was kind of beautiful to just see him in that really genuine, like, just quiet state, because sometimes there's beauty in silence. It's something that's very it's a very big thing to say, I guess. I don't know, whatever. I love Kyle, and I will always love Kyle, and I will always give him shout outs. We'll see if he makes it to the next 50, but I don't know when I'm going to get to 150 shoutouts. It's going to be pretty far out. After this video, we'll be at 63? No, 73 maybe? Yeah, we're going up pretty quick. But anyways, we move on to our final repeat shoutout of the day. It's Nick Aho, and like I was saying for Molly that she was the best girl dancer at the freshman ignition dance, Nick Aho was the best guy dancer. He was doing all sorts of funky, like the robot thing with your arm. I can't pull it off. Yeah, I cannot pull it off. But when you do the mechanical movements and stuff with your arm, he was doing that really well. And the other thing is, I feel like I mentioned this in the shout out archive video, but Nick and Marin are dating now, and that would be the perfect pairing. If Nick and Marin ended up being homecoming king and queen right next to each other, that would be so cool. I would love that. I'm not actually sure what Nick and Kyle's popularity is. I've always seen them as the two most popular just because they were the two that reached out to me the most. But I'm definitely rooting for Nick, Kyle, and Marin all to make it into the list particularly much, just because I know they're ones that watch my videos, and I've always appreciated that about them because they make me feel happy. And some of these people like Faith or who else? Some of the other ones that are coming up, but yeah, some of them I don't know as well. They don't necessarily accept me as a person, but I still appreciate them. And you guys return the favor, which is, it's beautiful, man. Love you guys. So anyways, now we move on to the 4 new guys. So first up we have Ian Kosak. Now, I'm pretty sure this guy's like the captain of the varsity football team or something. If he's not the captain, he's like one of the big players. Because one girl from my class, her name is Claire Schneider. She's like one of the most popular girls in my grade, right? And she's dating him, I think. If they're not dating, then I apologize for saying they were. But again, I'm completely uninformed, but I think they are. And Ian's, I think he's like running the homecoming pep assembly this year, because he's, you know, that alone just shows how big of a big dog he is, and how big of a name he's going to be for the class this year, in that he is they chose him to be the one to run the pep assembly. And the thing is, at Freshman Ignition, again, he's a mentor as well. He really actively engages the freshmen. You know, he really does care about people. He's a little more loud and boisterous as personality, but that's a beautiful thing to see sometimes. You know, sometimes you need that loud and boisterous guy to liven things up. You know, he's a party guy, and that's a great guy to have. Because without the party guy, I mean, where's the party, right? Then we have Brandon Polzin. Now, Brandon Polzin, last year he actually hung out with this black guy named Reggie Wilkerson a lot, and the two of them were like an awesome duo. Like, there was this time last year when there was a poetry slam in the auditorium, and Brandon and Reggie, they were like doing skits and clarinet stuff, or it wasn't a clarinet, I think it was like a rap or something, I don't even remember, but Brandon is a true entertainer. Now, Brandon, obviously, he's not as much in the popular cliques, at least from how I gauge things, but again, I could be completely off. But yeah, I see Brandon kind of as like, he's like, kind of like a leader of the more outcasted kids. Like, he's one of the bigger drama kids, and like, you know, the drama kids typically are like more of the misfits and stuff, just by perception. I mean, I'm not saying that there are misfits, but it's like, the way that the world tends to view things is like, okay, if you're a jock or if you're pretty, then you're popular. And if you're ugly by the world's standards, like you have glasses or you have acne or you had acne like I did, you know. Basically, if you're anything like me, then you're not popular. And if you're anything unlike me, then you are popular. So, yeah. So essentially Brandon, he's a little like me, but not entirely like me. Like, he still has the personality to back up, like, that's something I heard one time, is that if you can get somewhere in life, even if you look ugly, then it tells so much more about your personality, because your personality was able to get you places even despite bad looks, and that just shows that you have such a glowing personality, and I think that's something that can really be said about Brandon. I'm not saying he's ugly, because he's pretty stunning for a guy with glasses. I'm not gay, but I'm just saying. But the guy is, he's a great performer. He's a solid socialite, if that's a word. And, yeah, I would love to see him in the court. He was actually, like, I think he, like, led the skit or something at Freshman Ignition, too. You know, he really does take those leadership roles on nicely. Same for Ian. You know, that's why these seniors have made a name to me. Like, I don't actually know Brandon or Ian that well, outside of the times that I've seen them in leadership roles. But the thing is, they've taken on those leadership roles, and that's why I think they deserve recognition at a place like Homecoming, because they've proven themselves to be leaders in the past, and I feel like that's why they should represent their class. And then our final person is Chris Lemke. Chris Lemke's kind of like a hipster. He's always got, like, bandanas on. Not quite the caliber of my Survivor ones, but, you know, he's got, like, the funky hair going on. He's got glasses too, but he's got that real hipster vibe about him. Last year at the Poetry Slam, I remember he did some kind of a poem that was like about peace, and it was like so dramatic and awesome. I just love Chris. I saw him at the soccer game on Tuesday too, and he said hi to me. You know, again, just like I said about Nick, Kyle, and Marin, it's those people that return the favor and just let me know that, you know, they care about me. Just like a simple hi in the hallway, man. That can say so much, and I'm trying to do that a lot more often too, right? When I just see people in the hallway, I'll just say, like, nice hair, or nice shirt, or I like your nose. I don't know. I like something about you, and just, you know, you gotta throw those compliments out there, because if you just give a little love, then maybe you'll get a little love back. And it's you guys that give me love back. I mean, it means the world. So, I love you, Chris. And the final person is Isaiah Holtz. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Isaiah Holtz was in my grade, so it really caught me off guard that he was not in my grade. I don't actually know that much about him at all. But I was looking through my yearbook, my yearbook, trying to decide who to feature in this video, and I saw that Isaiah Holtz was apparently in the class of 2015 and not of 2016. Isaiah Holtz himself, I don't know him almost at all. I just kind of felt like mentioning him because I always thought he was in my grade, but apparently he's not. So, yeah. Isaiah Holtz for you, everybody. Okay, so that's it. Oh yeah, I was cheating. I had notes out, but I probably could have remembered. I probably could have remembered the names. There was only 12 people. But now that we're done with that, I'm gonna sing a song a cappella because I didn't really prepare this that well. I kind of just threw it together last minute here. I mean, you can tell by my not done hair, and again, I just told you I woke up from a nap. But I'm gonna sing the song 4 More Years by Hayley Orrantia. You don't have to stay if you don't want to. I mean, the shoutouts are over. But yeah, at the end of the day, this song is about it's about how you feel when you leave high school. Now, granted, I'm not doing this for like a year and a half, and even these guys aren't doing it for like a year still, so don't get too up in arms about it, but it's a song about like all the good things, what you're gonna miss, all that good stuff. Hayley is a girl from X Factor that I'm actually gonna give Hayley a shout out to. Hayley Orrantia. She's one of my favorite underrated artists of all time. She was in the first season of the X Factor before it got really terrible and stuff. It was actually pretty terrible for every season, but yeah, Hayley was in this group called Dakota Rain, and she really spoke to my heart. She's like from Texas or something, but I just always liked her for some reason. Maybe she's just attractive, because I mean sometimes guys just like girls because they're attractive. Yeah, that's my word of wisdom for the week. Sometimes guys just like girls because they're attractive. But anyways, here we go. I'm gonna sing 4 More Years. I might put the lyrics on the screen. I did that in my last video. That was a pretty awesome parody, right? Homecoming, a song about homecoming, and I felt good about that one. Man, I don't know if anybody else liked it though. I did get some feedback. Like one kid told me in the Idea Center that like he liked how I talked about. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna shut up and sing the song. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So ends my time in high school. Don't know what I'll do without you. At least we'll always have the memories of first day falling down the staircase. Open doors hit me in my face. Every time I dropped my lunch tray, I thought I'd die. I couldn't wait to leave this place. Now that it's done, I know that something's changed. These are the best years of our life. Okay, this is way too falsetto for me, man. I feel like I should have had the backing track. Whatever. It goes, these are the best years of our lives. At least that's what they say. Wave goodbye to these hallways. And it feels like yesterday, young and foolish, with big dreams, with love and heartache in between. Sometimes the laughter turns to tears. But I'd give anything for just 4 more years. And you know what? I'm probably just going to link the video to her song on the screen because I can't do it justice at all because it's like, she has a really higher voice. But anyways, some days felt like a prison, a billion clubs I could never get in. I'm sick and tired of sitting by the kid who farts. Prom pictures with a pimple, nothing was ever simple. Cute girl looking at me, what she gonna say? Hey, what'd you get on number 8? I couldn't wait to leave this place. Now that it's done, I know that something changed. These are the best years of our lives. At least that's what they say. Wave goodbye to these hallways. And it feels like yesterday, young and foolish with big dreams. Love and heartache in between. Sometimes the laughter turns to tears. But I'd give anything for just 4 more years. I'm trying to remember the bridge part. Oh yeah, okay, here it goes. I've gone through 1,000,000 pencils, 6 backpacks, 2 boyfriends, or girlfriends, I guess in my case. I know the periodic table, but not a thing about the Fabrius. 1,000 paces, 100 directions. Bracing us for what's to come. See you back here in 10 years. Where'd the time go? These are the best years of our lives. At least that's what they say. Wave goodbye to these hallways. It feels like yesterday, young and foolish with big dreams. Love and heartache in between. Sometimes the laughter turns to tears. But I'd give anything for just 4 more years. I'd give anything for just 4 more years. And yeah, that was probably the sloppiest cover I've ever done. Like, I was talking in the middle of it, and yeah, effort. Not in the mood for it today, right? But yeah, I do love all those people, and this video was mainly for them. Above all else, I know it's kind of weird to be doing more. Like, my videos have become more about shoutouts than they've been about singing these days, but I mean, isn't that the point? Like, why thrive in myself when I can thrive in you guys? And, you know, my singing, whatever. It's whatever. But, you guys are what make my world. So, thanks. We'll see you on the flip side.